Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank you for stopping by to share a reading with me this evening. And I also hope everyone had a fantastic day. And I know I did. So, this publication that we're reading from is written by Neville Goddard. And it's the power of awareness. And things that I've found out in my reading is that we sometimes, or most of the time, we're not conscious of who we are. So what this book will help you to dive into is to learn more about your consciousness, also your subconscious, and what we can do to draw closer to source. For without knowing these things, we continue to, objectify how we live or we state our life, and that's not the case. So we're going to be picking up chapter 8, and the title is No Other God. I am the first, and I am the last, and beside me is no God. And that's taken from Isaiah 44:6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. That's Deuteronomy 5:6 and 7. Okay, it reads, Thou shalt have no other God beside me. As long as man entertains a belief in a power apart from himself, so long will he rob himself of the being that he is. Every belief in powers apart from himself, whether for good or evil, will become the mold of the graven image worshipped. The beliefs in the potency of drugs to heal, diets to strengthen, monies to secure, are the values or money changers that must be thrown out of the power. And there are some scriptures, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John 2:14-15, that you can look up when you have the time. And it goes on to say, he can then unfailingly manifest that quality. This understanding throws out the money changer's temple. You are the temple of the living God, taken from 1 Corinthians 3:16. And what agreement have the temple of God with idols? For you are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. A temple made without hands. So what type of temple could that possibly be? And if it wasn't made with hands, how was it made? And you can, ask yourself that question. It is written, my house shall be called of all nations a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. And that's found in Matthew 21:13. It says, For my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. Isaiah 56:7. The thieves who rob you are your own false beliefs. It is your belief in a thing, not the thing itself, that aids you. There is only one power. I am He. Because of your belief in external things, you think power into them by transferring the power that you are to the external thing. Realize you yourself are the power you have mistakenly given to outer conditions. So we back up again. and those beliefs are external things, and it's what we've given power to. So once we learn how to transform our mind and retrain or reprogram our subconscious, we're going to be able to live a more meaningful life. The Bible compares the opinionated man to the camel who could not go through the needle's eye. And those are a few scriptures, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. The needle's eye referred to was a small gate in the walls of Jerusalem, which was so narrow that a camel could not go through it until relieved of its pack, which again is your belief system or your concept of yourself. The rich man, that is the one burdened with false human concepts, cannot enter the kingdom of heaven until he relieved of his burden, any more than could the camel go through this small gate. Man feels so secure in his man-made laws, opinions, and beliefs that he invests them with an authority they do not possess. Satisfied that his knowledge is all, he remains unaware that all outward appearances are but states of mind, externalized, things that you've thought of and brought into existence. When he realizes that the consciousness of a quality eternalizes that quality without the aid of any other or many values and establishes the one true value, his own consciousness. The Lord is in his holy temple, found in Habakkuk 2:20. Consciousness dwells within that which it is conscious of being. I am is the Lord and man, his temple. Knowing that consciousness objectifies itself, man must forgive all men for being that which they are. He must realize that all are expressing, without the aid of another, that which they are conscious of being. Peter, the enlightened or disciplined man, knew that a change of consciousness would produce a change of expression. Instead of sympathizing with the beggars of life at the temple's gate, he declared, "Silver and gold have I none for you, but such as I have, the consciousness of freedom, give I unto you." Stir up the gift within you. Wherefore I put you in remembrance that you stir up the gift of God which is in you. And that's found in 2 Timothy 1-6. And the thee and the thou may be confusing, so I just kind of translated to the words that it is you and what have you. It's stop begging and claim yourself to be that which you decide to be. Okay, let's read this again. This is key. Stop begging and claim yourself to be that which you decide to be. Do this, and you too will jump from your crippled world into the world of freedom, singing praises to the Lord. I am. So this paragraph is telling us that we can be or become whom or whatever we decide to be. Is that making sense? So there's, something that's blocking the senses where we are not getting that or understanding what that scripture or the sentence is saying. So let's go on, read it a little further. Guys, if you take the time and you read, you have to you have to really go over the Bible, because we don't know Latin, and I think some of the Bible is written in Hebrew. So if we don't have that degree or what have you in theology, then some of these things are going to pass over our head, and we don't understand it. We go to our religious meetings, and we sit and we let someone, preach for us, or, share the gospel. But do you really understand what they're saying and who they're saying it to and about? So these are some of the things you have to take in consideration. You have to really understand how to apply these scriptures and who these scriptures are speaking of. So let's go on. We're just at the end of this chapter. It reads, "Far greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. You are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world." That's John 4:4. So when you get a chance, when you're sitting reading, really do some research on what these scriptures are telling us and wanting to awake us to. This is the cry of everyone who finds his awareness of being to be God. Your recognition of this fact will automatically cleanse the temple, which is your consciousness, of the thieves and robbers, restoring to you that dominion over things which you lost the moment you forgot the command. And the command, "Thou shalt have no other God besides me." So again, your temple, your consciousness, once you allow these things to be removed, you no longer have the thieves and the robbers. You'll be able to have dominion over your own thoughts and be able to live a comfortable life, a life that you've always desired, or you wish to have at this point. And then again, you don't even have to wish, because you are a co-creator. You can create the type of life that you wish to come forth before you. So guys, just think for a moment. What other God are you putting before the God within? You have to really sit and seriously think about that. And then the chapter went on to tell us to stop begging and claim ourselves. That which we decide to be, we will be, or you will have. There's nothing that God has created that you're not worthy of receiving. Whatever your desire is from your heart, He wants you to awaken so that you can receive those things and come out from under the hypnosis of being like a Pinocchio, like, say for instance, a puppet. You want to become a living person. So guys, anyway, I would like to thank you for stopping by and sharing a reading with me, and I hope you enjoyed. And then my vocabulary, the word hope is a word sort of like will, or you don't possess the power, or you don't believe it's going to happen, things like that. So we don't say hope. let's just say you can share and listen and develop and reprogram your mind to have the most wonderful and enjoyable life that you desire. I think that's a little better than saying hope. So, guys, I'm going to say namaste, love, peace, and happiness. Have a good night. Bye.